Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I've decided to go back to an external smaller filter for this 29-gallon tall tank here and disconnect the canister filter. I think the canister filter is too much for this tank, and I seem to be having a lot of success with just the smaller external filter on the 10-gallon tank. And I'm going to change up the gravel. I'm going to go with the same white gravel. I'm getting tired of the black gravel here, and I have this, I don't know if it's the substrate. The plants just don't seem to like this substrate. Could be the plants. And I get this sort of heavy, thick, I don't think it's an algae, it's sort of like this slime for some reason. This tank here does not get direct sun, but for some reason I have a problem with the algae, so I don't know if it's just the phosphate buildup, or even though it's a large canister filter, biological filtering, it's just not working for me. So I'm going to switch over again to an external whisper filter, and they've always changing the designs on these filters, so decided to just go ahead and buy one. So it's another whisper filter, Whisper EX45. That's the gravel I'm going with, just from Petco. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove a lot of the water and the remaining fish. Just have a couple of cories in there and those bleeding heart tetras. I think that's what they're called, 2 of those. So let's get started. Okay, so this is a 20-gallon trash can. I have it just about topped off. I'll be doing a water change, so that's what I'll be changing with fresh water, that amount there. And it's going to hopefully make it easier to catch the fish in here. So let me take this out here. It's driftwood. Put that in here. Good a place as any. Now comes the fun part, trying to catch these guys. Okay, so since this is the water that's going, I used it to clean all the sides of the tanks, and now I can drain the rest of this water. Piled the gravel all up to one side there, so hopefully I can get most of this water out and then clean out this old gravel or substrate. Alright, so I got it all cleaned out. Put the new gravel in now. Nice and clean. So all I have to do is fill it up now. I was looking over this driftwood again. I got this larger piece I used to have in there, and I was wondering if I should put that in there. The cories like to hide under something, give them hiding place. I just don't like the fact that debris ends up collecting underneath the larger piece like this. But I don't know, put this in there. Well, let's start filling it up. Okay, so I've got the tank filled up again. I got the fish in. This tetra here, it's underneath the piece of driftwood there. I hope we can back out or get out through the front. Well, let me get the filter on, and then I'm going to take some plants, snip some plants out of the other tank and start putting them in this tank. So this is the Whisper filter, EX45. I already had to take it out of the box because I wanted to make sure that the aquarium was far enough away from the wall. I wasn't sure how much this sticks out. And I already have a problem with this. When I went to put it on the back, it wasn't seating right on one side, so it was at an angle. And the way they have the motor now, this just comes off. Well, came off easier before. This comes off somehow. And let's see, is there a clip or something? Somehow, yeah, that just comes off. That's the sealed motor, and it just snaps on here. But they have this little, yeah, I'm not thrilled with this thing. This is just, you wonder if they actually put this on an aquarium and deal with this thing. That just snaps in like that. But this cord, the way they have it coming out, it interferes with seating. So they do have a little bit of a slot, but the angle that the cord is epoxied in and comes out of the motor is weird. And then they had this little, I don't know if I broke it already or if that's the way it's supposed to be. This cord, there's a little channel underneath here, and the cord's supposed to sit in there, but the channel is not as wide as the cord. Figure that. And so that was interfering with it sitting on the edge properly. And there was a little clip. There's two little posts there. They're plastic. So they make them so they're going to be nice and easy to break off. And this thing here, it looks like they just melted it with something. At first I thought I broke it off, but this goes on like that. And basically that's just not going to, that's just going to come off. So that's not even going to stay on there. I guess I could re-glue it. But really, do they just use AutoCAD and design this thing and then send it off to the manufacturer and start pumping them out? Or do they actually try it out first? So it's too much trouble to return something like this. Got it from Amazon, so I'll keep it. But yeah, I wonder if they still sell parts. I still have the old Whisper filters, but I don't know if they still sell the parts for those things. So this here, I don't know what that's supposed to be. There's the filter in the back. I don't know if that's supposed to be a biological filter. And it has here carbon cartridge door, carbon cartridge carrier, multi-density carbon cartridge, and number 4 is bio scrubber. So that all those plastic fingers is a bio scrubber. So I'm going to get this on at least, so it's just not stagnant water. So that's what it looks like. And then this cord. Yeah, that little attachment, I don't know what they were thinking with that. I mean, that happened within seconds of having it out of the box. Because this was interfering with the way it, you could see it hits this edge here, so it wasn't sitting. And that channel is not the same dimensions of, the way it comes out is a different angle than the way it could be seating in that channel. Really, they don't even need that. It's not necessary. So let's see if I can put this together without even looking at the instructions. So the water gets sent to the back. So it comes out the front. So that seat on top of there. So 2 attachments. go on like that. And then this screen here. None of this stuff, they used to have individual O-rings on these things. So they would pop in and you could tell they were nice and secure. Okay, let me hang this on the tank. You rinse out the carbon filter. Carbon filter you just squeeze and this opens up to replace it. So the filter just goes behind the bio scrubber. Put the top on. Well, I gotta prime it, put some water in there. I guess it's just one speed. Even that really simple one I got with that kit has an adjustment for the speed, slowing down the flow. This is just one. Didn't think about that. Well, that's that. Actually, you know, I think that's noisier than the canister filter. So there's the completed fish tank. Changed out the black gravel to this white sand and cleaned up the tank. And I took some plants out of the other aquarium, put them in this aquarium here. Hopefully they'll grow just as lush as they did in the other aquarium. Although I had some dieback all of a sudden on one of these varieties of plants here. Don't know what happened. I think the temperature was too high. I think it got to about 82. So I think that looks a little bit better. Just got bored with the black gravel look. Seems to be a little bit more calming for the tetras, and the cories like to hang out underneath that larger piece of driftwood I put in on the bottom right there. Sort of like a little cavity in there that they like to hang out in. And I read that they like to have a little place to hide in. And I've got the new whisper filter on. I disconnected the canister filter. The whisper filter isn't as quiet as I thought it was going to be. But I think the water flow is a little bit more appropriate for this tank with the canister filter, even on the lower setting. It was just too much water movement, I think, for the fish. So the tetras seem to be a little bit happier in this tank. So this is New England Gardening, just changing up the aquarium here on this 29-gallon high. Thanks for watching.